The Source Dragons, the most powerful beings in all of Ninjago, without them balance itself would collapse. But now, shocking new details suggest they're in grave danger, and the future of all realms may depend on what happens next. When we talk about the Source Dragons being in grave danger, it's not about a single moment or episode title, it's a theme that runs throughout Dragons Rising. From the very first part of the series, their survival is constantly under threat, and those dangers only intensify as the story unfolds. Amidst this growing instability, Lord Ras is quietly pursuing his own plan. His goal is nothing less than to reverse the merge itself, undoing the very event that created the merge realms. If Ras succeeds, the realms would be torn apart once again, threatening countless lives and leaving the Source Dragons powerless. To stop the chaos, wars in the aftermath of such destruction, the Source Dragons themselves could become the prime targets of enemies waiting to strike. Then comes Thunderfang, a force of destruction tied directly to the Forbidden Five. His presence escalates the conflict, pushing the dragons towards an impossible choice: remain hidden and watch the balance collapse, or risk everything by awakening the Art Dragon of Focus, which the ninja did, a being whose power could either restore harmony or shatter it completely. Caught in the middle of all of this is Lloyd. Throughout an unexpected connection to the Source Dragons, he becomes their unwilling conduit. He feels their fears, hears fragments of their counsel, and learns a truth the ninja were never meant to know. For Lloyd, his bond is both a gift and a curse, because with every whisper he hears, he realizes just how close the dragons are to falling. The danger to the Source Dragons isn't just a single crisis that gets resolved in one battle, it's a consistent season-spawning threat, with Ras scheming in the shadows, Thunderfang gaining strength, and now Ras being more powerful than ever. The Source Dragons are living on a borrowed time, and the consequences extend far beyond themselves, because if the dragons fall, every elemental master will lose their connection, leaving the ninja powerless against what's coming. After the death of the Source Dragon of Balance, the harmony between the Source Dragons began to crumble. Cole, guided by Master Wu, followed a strange resonance to where a corpse was buried. At the point where the sound was the loudest, he tried using his earth powers on it, but nothing happened. Later, with the combined efforts of Cole and Freck, using their elemental powers of earth and quake, they managed to underneath the corpse, while Kai used his fire to destroy the rocks blocking it, but just as surfaced it disappeared. Wu's spectre appeared to his students, telling them that the skeleton has been lost, but now it could once again be found. After Thunderfang's return, his ambition to become a Source Dragon by collecting souls in the spectral lands forced the Source Dragons into a stalemate. Life and Strength argued that their ancient promise to the first Pinjitsu master had led to this conflict. Strength pointed out that he had to refuse to give his gift to the first Pinjitsu master, while Motion reminded them that the only reason they agreed to help mortals at all was because of Balance had favored them, but with Balance now gone, there was no one left to tip the scales, leaving the Source Dragons facing a critical choice on whether to confront Thunderfang or not. When a ninja summoned Thunderfang's internal enemy, the Art Dragon of Focus, the personal avatar of the Source Dragon of Focus, the council fractured completely. Focus, life and strength walked away, while energy, motion and flow chose to remain. But this split disrupted the balance of elemental powers and their wielders, and even the remaining council members admitted that the mortals would ultimately suffer the consequences of their brethren's actions. While imprisoned by Lee, Lloyd accidentally connected with the Source Dragons again. Overhearing their assembly, they were discussing whether to intervene against Thunderfang by reawakening the Art Dragon of Focus, because the Source Dragon of Balance was dead, the one who would normally have the final vote. they couldn't reach an agreement. When the Source Dragon of Strength noticed Lloyd, the connection was cut. Still, Lloyd learned that even in the dead, Thunderfang was still a serious threat. After realizing what Thunderfang was doing, the ninja went to the City of Temples to find a way to defeat the Shadow Dragon. The former Minister of Lecturing, Blacked, guided him to the Vault of Focus. Lloyd told him that the Source Dragons were in a deadlock over summoning the Ore Dragon of Focus. Black showed them a way to summon the Ore Dragon, though it would make them enemies of the Source Dragons. The ninja then traveled to the Cave of Bells, where they successfully awakened and summoned the Ore Dragon of Focus. With Eren and Lloyd controlling the dragons together, they defeated Thunderfang. This greatly angered the Source Dragons of Strength, Life and Focus. As a result, those dragons who preferred to stay out of mortal affairs withdrew from the Council of Sources, leaving only motion, flow and energy. This disrupted the balance of elemental powers and their wielders, and the remaining council members acknowledged that the mortals would ultimately suffer the consequences of their actions. The Council of Sources is made up with the Source Dragons who are responsible for overseeing the merge realms and keeping balance within them. But after the death of the Source Dragon of Balance and the ongoing threat to the other Source Dragons, the council couldn't agree on how to deal with mortals. Lloyd overheard their argument. One half of the council wanted to awaken the Ore Dragon of Focus to stop Thunderfang, while the other half didn't think they should interfere. When the ninja acted on their own and awakened the Ore Dragon of Focus to defeat Thunderfang, it angered the Source Dragons of Strength, Life and Focus. In response, they withdrew from the council, leaving only motion, flow and energy. This split caused major complications for those using elemental powers, disrupting their abilities. The remaining council members later discussed this situation and realized that mortals, especially the elemental master, would be the ones to suffer the consequences. The fallout was too severe that it could have threatened the balance of the universe itself. The Source Dragons, the most powerful beings in all of Ninjago, guardians of the realms and a keeper of balance, are now facing their greatest threats yet. Their numbers have dwindled, their council fractured, and the forces rising against them are more dangerous than ever. After the death of the Source Dragon of Balance, the harmony of the council began to crumble. Thunderfang's return seeking the Ascent as a Source Dragon by collecting souls pushed the dragons into a stalemate. Some, like motion, flow and energy, believed intervention was necessary. Others, Strength, Life and Focus, argued that getting involved would only worsen the chaos. Without balance to tip the scales, the Source Dragons were left with a terrible choice: act and risk everything, or remain hidden and watch the realms fall apart. When a ninja awakened the Ore Dragon of Focus to defeat Thunderfang, the council shattered. Strength, Life and Focus withdrew completely, leaving only motion, flow and energy to hold the line. This split shockwaves throughout the elemental masters, disrupting powers and leaving the realms more vulnerable than ever. To make matters worse, Lord Ras is scheming in the shadows, his power greater than ever before. His true plan is nothing less than to reverse the merge itself, undoing the event that brought the realms together. If he succeeds, the realm would be torn apart once more, countless lives would be lost, and the Source Dragons could be stripped over the purpose as guardians. In the chaos that follows, they would become vulnerable targets for anyone seeking to claim their power. Thunderfang, tied to this dark design, continues to grow stronger, threatening the very fabric of Ninjago itself. Caught in the middle, Lloyd has become the dragon's unwilling link. Through him, they reveal their fear, secrets and the truths they cannot share with mortals. Each revelation underscores reality. The Source Dragons are not invincible. Their power alone may no longer be enough to stop the rising tide of darkness. The threat to the Source Dragons is ongoing, endless and escalating. With the fractured council, deadly enemies on every side, and the Elemental Master's powers faltering. The balance of all realms hangs by a thread. Every decision, every battle, every awakening could determine whether the Source Dragons survive, or if Ninjago itself collapses into chaos. The Source Dragons are more important than ever, and the hints we're getting all point to one thing: their future is in serious danger. And if Season 4 delivers on these theories, it could be the most explosive Ninjago storyline yet. Stay tuned because we get more reveals. I'll be breaking them down more, so make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.